Hey Griffins, Mr. M here with your October 2021 SEL video. And this month we are going to be talking about the word bullying. So October is National Bullying Prevention Month. And we as a school are going to use this month to really understand what bullying is, what that word means, and how to prevent it at Eagle Ridge to make this a kind and peaceful place to go to school. So our first question, the first thing we want to start to think about is just what exactly is bullying? We hear this word a lot. This is something that students say, this is something that adults talk about, but bullying or bully is a word that we hear often, and sometimes there's some misunderstanding. So our big goal today is just to understand what exactly that means, how do we recognize bullying, and compare it to some other different types of conflicts that can be happening that are different than bullying. So teachers, at this time, I want you to pause the video where it says, what is bullying? And as a class, think about and maybe talk about this word a little bit. So this could be something that you discuss all together as a full class. This could maybe be turned to a partner and talk about what this word means. It could be writing it down on a piece of paper. So teachers, I'll let you make those decisions for your class, but this is the time I want you to pause the video and just give all of these students an opportunity to think and possibly talk about this word bullying and what they already know. So here are the three words we're going to try to define today: bullying, conflict, and a mean moment. So our goal is to figure out what is the difference. So teachers, you will all be getting this sign from me that says, is it bullying? And this is something you can use in your classrooms, share with your students, and use it as a way to really understand this word and help your students out through these situations. So on here it says, not everything that's mean is actually bullying. Use the chart below to understand the difference between bullying, conflict, and a mean moment. First one here, a mean moment. So this we're defining as it happens one time, it is hurtful, it is on purpose, and it's one-sided. So some examples of a mean moment might be someone laughing when you spill some water. It happened once, it's hurtful, it didn't feel very good, and it was over quickly. That's a mean moment. Maybe someone says something unkind about your shoes, makes fun of your shoes. That is a mean moment. That happened once, it's hurtful, it was on purpose, they meant to say it, it's one-sided, it doesn't feel very good. That's a mean moment. That's a little bit different than bullying. Still not something we like to see, and it's something we'll try to fix and work on, but that is a mean moment. The next one, a conflict. This is occasional. This happens sometimes. Conflict is one of those just normal things in life that happens every once in a while. It's hurtful, or at least it can be hurtful. It's sometimes on purpose, and usually both parties are involved in this situation. So conflicts are normal. This is disagreements. This is arguments. This happens with classmates. This happens with siblings. Conflicts are normal. They're part of life. It's different than bullying, and we'll understand why in the next definition. But conflict is a word that we should really know and understand and how it is different from bullying. And our last word here, bullying. Bullying is a situation that is repeated. It happens over and over, more than once. It is hurtful, it is on purpose, and it's one-sided. So that means one person is doing this bullying to someone else. So there are lots of different types of bullying, and we're going to spend some other opportunities in October really understanding what those are. Things like cyberbullying, physical bullying, emotional bullying. Those are all different, even though they have some similarities. So we'll spend another time talking about what those mean. Today's just about understanding this word. So bullying is repeated. It is hurtful. It is on purpose. And it is one-sided. It is one person doing something to someone else over and over again in an unkind, mean way. That is our definition of bullying that we're going to use. So that poster is something that will be in every classroom, and you'll be able to see that and look at that when you need to. Your teachers will all have that. So if there's some sort of a situation and you're not quite sure if it's a mean moment, a conflict, or bullying, you can use that chart as a way to kind of think through that moment, think through that situation, and decide where it falls on that chart. And if it is bullying, we want you to let someone know. If it's a conflict or a mean moment, that's something that we think you can work on your own and do your best to solve that situation. But if it's bullying, we need to know about it. So when I come to class this month, we're going to be doing some practice with those words and try to look at some scenarios and figure out, what are they? Is this a mean moment? Is this a conflict? Or is this bullying? So in this video, we're just going to do a little bit of practice to get you thinking. And then when I come into your room, we're going to do a lot more of this all together. So I'm going to show you a couple of pictures here, and we'll just take a moment to think about, is this bullying? Is this conflict? Or is this a mean moment? Scenario number 1. You and your sister have been arguing about borrowing clothes. You get really mad at each other one day, so decide to come up with a plan about what clothes are okay to borrow from one another, which ones are not okay, and agree to always ask first before you borrow something. So thumbs up if you think this is a mean moment. Thumbs up if you think this is a conflict. Thumbs up if you think this is bullying. This scenario is conflict. These two disagreed about something. They had an argument, and maybe there were some feelings hurt, but they worked on it together. They came up with a solution and made an agreement of what they can do moving forward. So for those reasons, this situation is a conflict and not a mean moment or bullying. Scenario number 2. Every day in class, when reading out loud, a boy laughs at another student when they make a mistake. This has happened every day for several weeks, every time the class does reading out loud. The student is very hurt by what is happening and doesn't know what to do about it. Thumbs up if you think this is a mean moment. Thumbs up if you think this is a conflict. Thumbs up if you think this is bullying. This scenario is a bullying situation. This is something that is happening over and over. It is repeated, it is on purpose, it is hurtful, and it is one-sided. It's this same student making fun of another student over and over again about the same thing. So this is a bullying situation. All right, so when we come together as a class this month, we're going to be going over a bunch of different scenarios and trying to understand what exactly is bullying. How do we recognize that? And from there, we're going to try to figure out, what do we do next? Once we've figured out if it's a mean moment, conflict, or bullying, what do we do next? How do we move forward? That's going to be where we take this conversation. All right, so your Griffin challenge for this month, I'm going to give you a Griffin challenge to be thinking about and working on, is to talk to someone in your life about the difference between a mean moment, conflict, and bullying. Try to spread that knowledge and help as many people as you can understand the difference of those 3 terms and how do you recognize those in real life. All right, let's have an awesome month together. Griffins, it's the Bullying Prevention Month. Let's take this seriously. Let's work on this problem together and do everything we can to make Eagle Ridge a safe and peaceful school to come to every day. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.